Hi everybody, I'm Bill Young. I'd like to thank my helper Emily Miller. I teach in the at Penwood Elementary School in the Westchester Area School District. And today I'd like to share a new game with you. It's called Floor Ping Pong. As Emily will look down, there's your ping pong mat. That's what your ping pong table looks like right there. You'll be able to see that the ping pong table is marked off by pieces of blue painter's tape. So if you look around close, you'll see that it's circled by the painter's tape that goes around on the floor. In the middle of the ping pong table, we have a cone lying on its side. We have another cone lying on its side. You can either face them away from each other, you can face them in, it doesn't matter. For the net, we have what are called, it's a wooden dowel. Right? The wooden dowel lays across the top, and what I did to give it more of a visual, easier to see, and so the ball doesn't keep passing underneath, and sometimes it's hard to tell whether the ball goes over the net or under the net, especially if you're using a pole, is that I put some pinnies over top, and you can use whatever color you want, and it gives it the visual so you can see. Okay, now the players, they sit over, one player sits on this side, right here, and they sit on a scooter. This is a gym scooter. And on the gym scooter, we had a ping pong. There's a ping pong paddle, right? Each player gets a ping pong paddle, and you get one ping pong ball, right? And on the other side of the table, you have another paddle, and of course, you have another scooter. Now, what happens is that the person sits on the scooter, and you want to sit sideways. Okay, you don't want your feet on the table. You don't want to have your feet on the table, and if you have your feet back here, I'm too far back to make any plays. So you sit up and turn sideways. You can either be that way or this way. Okay, for me, it's easier for me to be this way, kind of like a backhand type thing. I can go to my forehand. All right, so you can play, and what we do is first, before we start any games, my opponent and I, we got to get 10 in a row, 10, back and forth, before we can even think about a game. Now, if you look around the gym, you're going to see some cones in the gym. Okay, each one of those cones is a ping pong table. Right? There are 19 ping pong tables in this gym. I don't have them all set up right now, so what I did is I stuck a cone in the middle of each ping pong table so you can get an idea of how many there are. There are 19. So you've got the whole class is playing at the same time. There's no one sitting around. Everybody's involved. All right, so like I said, first thing you do when you meet your opponent is you have to hit back and forth 10 times in a row. Then you can start your game, and you can go to play whatever game, whatever score you want, 15, 21, that's up to you. Okay, and at the end of the time period, okay, one player goes in one direction, and then the other player goes in another direction, and you'll get to a new table, and you'll meet a new opponent there. And then you got to do your 10. You got to do your 10 in a row, and then once you get to that 10 in a row, then you can start your game. You may not get to the 10 in a row, but that's okay. You're still working on the hand-eye coordination, right? So then after you've done, if you make it after a certain time period, I stop and I switch again. Some people will have gotten into the game. Some people may still be working on their 10 hits.